Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel, where Weekend 1 of the Modern Warfare 2 beta has just ended, and I'm here to talk about my opinion of everything so far, the good, the bad, everything in between, so let's hop into it. Let's put our best foot forward and start with the good things, everything that I've enjoyed so far. One, it's a lot of fun. I have thoroughly enjoyed my entire time playing it over the last couple days. There's never been a time where I was just grinding for the sake of grinding. It's been, I wanted to sit down, I wanted to keep playing, which is the most important thing. It makes me want to keep going. The maps that we've seen so far, they all look good, they all feel good. They've got that classic 3-lane build that I personally really enjoy, and I know a lot of the classic Call of Duty players definitely prefer over the maps that we had in Modern Warfare 2019. And to go along with those good maps, I haven't had any shit spawns. I'm not spawning inside of the enemy team, I'm not spawning in front of enemies, I'm not getting killed off the rip over and over again like I have had experienced in some of the Call of Duties that we've played recently. I love the attention to detail that they've put in this game, but mostly the sound quality is so much better than some of our previous titles, Modern Warfare 2019 included. You can very clearly track where somebody is or exactly where a sound is coming from, but also if you're in a building, it does have a little bit of that occlusion, which is fantastic. The quality, the guns, everything else. I really enjoy the way things sound here, but there's a negative about sound that we'll get to. Now, for what will probably be my most controversial positive about the game, is I really like Gunsmith 2.0, or at least what we've played with it so far. I like the weapon platform system, I like the progression to it, but that is coming from someone who has played MMOs and stuff in the past, that grindy type of game. I always enjoyed those, so a bit of grind is never really a problem. And now we get into the nitty-gritty, talking about some of the negatives. First off, and probably my personal most annoying thing about this game, is the muzzle flash and the visual recoil. The muzzle flash is so bad that I have not run a gun that I could customize without putting a flash hider or a suppressor on it, because you cannot see your enemies if you don't. The muzzle flash is ridiculous. Calling back to what I said about sound quality, everything sounds great, but everything is also much too loud. Footsteps especially, I can hear someone 3/4 of the way across the map and it sounds like they're tap dancing on my fucking forehead because the footsteps are just that loud. They need to be toned down, like a decent chunk. Just give us back classic minimap. I know they're not going to. The way they have it set up now is definitely here to stay, especially with they've added a perk that basically gives you classic minimap now. So they want that to be a competitive thing. They want you to have to choose to go for that over taking things like Ghost or whatever. It gives more options for perks, more different types of perks that you can use, but just give us classic minimap back. Ignore everything else, just do that. Speaking of perks, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about their new perk system. It's definitely not bad, and overall you do get more perks, but there's just so many options that you have to let fall to the roadside in your ultimate perks especially, because it's either classic minimap or Ghost or overclocked or whatever else, and they're all fantastic, but you can only choose one and you don't get them till halfway through a match or whatever, which is good for Ghost's case, where you don't have people running Ghost full-time, camping in buildings as much. The first half of the match, it's easy to find those people. Once that kicks online, it's a little bit different, but it's not really a problem. Now, movement speed could do to be a little bit faster. I don't like how clunky I feel, but it does kind of bring back a bit of the classic feel from like Modern Warfare 2, because your movement was clunky in those old games. And then you have the whole them removing slide canceling thing, which is entirely its own can of worms, but isn't necessarily a bad thing. It fixes an accessibility issue, even though it closes the skill gap a significant amount. It's not really that big of a problem. Strafe a little bit, bunny hop, drop shot, do whatever you want. Don't cry about it too much. Just get used to the new system, I guess. And finally, the time to kill is insane. It's a bit of a problem. They really need to bump it up a bit, because if I'm trying to play aggro and you're sprinting around a corner, you are immediately at a disadvantage. It takes you longer to ADS from sprinting than it does for someone to drop you initially. Like, if I cannot even get my red dot up before I am dropped, there's a problem. Now that everything is said and done, I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know your opinions on the game so far, anything you agree with, anything you disagree with, things you want to see from next weekend and onwards into the full release. And yeah, just leave some feedback. Let me know what you think. I will see you all next time. Peace. Oh, and subscribe to the channel.